welcome to Wild, Wacky, Wonderful Humans. This is the podcast that celebrates the quirks, the courage, and the brilliance of being human. I'm your host, Jeanene Tracy, transformational coach and curious explorer. Let's dive in and uncover the magic of being wonderfully human. Hello, my friends. Before we begin today's episode, I just wanted to let you know that this conversation explores very sensitive topics. These topics include suicide and men's mental health. These are deeply important issues, but they may bring up some strong emotions for you, especially if you've been personally impacted. Please listen with care. If you're not in the right headspace, it's absolutely okay to pause or come back another time. And if you need support, you're not alone. Help is available for you. Welcome to Wild, Wacky, Wonderful Humans. Today's episode's a little bit heavier. Today's episode is on the back of this coming week being Men's Mental Health Week. And this is something that is so devastating to me to understand the numbers around this. The stats that I have available is from 2023, but 2023 there were 3,214 male suicides in Australia, just in Australia in that 1 year. Can you imagine how many brothers, fathers, sons that was to people? It's pretty incredible and pretty sad. And I know personally in the last 2 to 3 months, 2 men who have made that decision. And it just makes me really sad because I feel like as a society, we've done a really terrible job of allowing men in our society to speak up and to be okay to speak up and to still feel like they are strong and being, the men that they want to be, the men that they want to express as. And I find it really devastating that so many men are not able to share their hearts. They're not able to share their feelings because they've been taught that boys don't cry. You're acting like a girl. Don't be such a sookie bubba. There's all these phrases that men have grown up with that it's just devastating that they can't be truthful about what they're going through. And the thing that just blows my mind the most is how many men outside of teen years are making this choice as well. In fact, the average age in Australia for men in 2023 was 45. 45. That's just devastating. And there's so many things that are going on in that time in your life. There's transitions, there's career transitions, there's relationship transitions, there's, parenting transitions. There's so many transitions that happen in that time. And if you don't have the support, you can truly feel like you don't matter. And I know what that feels like. I know personally what it feels like to feel like you don't matter. And sometimes you can feel like people would be better off without you. But the truth is we need you. We need you. And as a society, we need to be better at this. We need to provide containers for men and women, for all genders, to be able to be honest about the way they're feeling without feeling like they're a burden, without feeling like they're failing the system, without feeling like they don't matter, that they don't have a purpose. And so it's really close to me because personally have seen the impacts in the last 2 to 3 months of communities being impacted by these choices that men have made. And the common thought or feeling that I'm hearing from people who are left behind is, I wish I knew. I wish I knew. And so what can we do about this? We can provide space. We can provide space for people who are going through these thoughts. And yes, for many people, they're not talking about it, and so we don't even know that it's happening. But it's important for us to see, to feel, to experience any change that somebody's going through. If somebody regularly shows up to something and they stop showing up, that's a red flag. Reach out to them. Ask them not just how they are. Ask them how their heart is. Ask them how their mind is. Ask them how their body is. Break it down. I went to an absolutely stunning circle yesterday, and I was so privileged to have had 2 incredible men leading this circle. And the first man spoke about how he really wished that he knew his friend was having the thoughts that he was having, and so that he could be a support for him. But he didn't know it was happening, so he couldn't be that. And this person was so jovial and, the person that everybody wanted to be around, and no one knew that this was going on for him. And then the other man who was facilitating in this circle, incredible man, he ran a mini workshop, breath work, and he started it with teaching us a tool, a technique, a way of being to share with others around us. And it was about checking in. Just checking in. How is your heart feeling? What thoughts are you having? How's your body feeling? Sometimes it's really difficult to open up those conversations. But if we have the intention to hold a space, you might want to say something like, we haven't really spoken for quite some time. I'm really interested in hearing all about you. And this is exactly what Harvey was leading with. Tell that person that you just want to hear everything that's been going on for them. You want to hold the space for them. And that's such an incredible opening for somebody to start to share. And of course, some people don't want to share, and that's okay too. And if you come across somebody who you know something's going on for them and they don't want to share, presence is an incredible gift for that person. Just showing up for them. Sending a message of love. Sending food. Making food, dropping it off. Asking if they want to come for a walk. You don't have to talk when you walk, but you might want to. Do they want to go for a drive? Just being in the presence of another human who truly cares really reminds us that we matter. It reminds us that we can be seen and heard. And really, that's what we need. We need to be seen and heard. I'm so happy to hear of these communities that are popping up all over the place for men. For them to sit in circle, for them to feel supported, and for them to feel like they have a place to call home, that they can feel safe to speak in, and to know that they're still loved for who they are when they share their vulnerability, when they share their weakness. Because sharing your weakness and vulnerability, that's human. That's real. And when you're real, when you show up real, that's when we can support you. That's when we can be there for you and we can help you ride this wave. This journey of life was never, ever meant to be done alone. It's done in community. And one of the biggest problems around suicide or suicidal ideation is isolation. We isolate ourselves. We become the lone wolf because we don't want to be a burden on anybody else. But being in community, being with people who hold the space, that can help us feel like we belong. And it's really important. It's not about fixing things. You know, often we feel like if somebody's got a problem or someone's presenting stressed or anxious or depressed or in a really dark place, that we have to fix them. We don't have to fix them. We have to be presence for them. And so there's two sides of the coin. There's showing up for those who are going through these dark souls of the night, dark nights of the soul, I should say. They are dark souls too, of the night. You know, you're going through that dark time. So we can support people who are going through that. And then if we ourselves are going through that, take notice. If you're isolating yourself, know that there is somebody who cares, even when it feels like there isn't. There are so many incredible community groups. And just being in that community group, sitting in circle, you don't have to speak, but you can be held. And the beautiful Amy Salisbury from Morty Sea Dippers yesterday said something that really, really touched my soul. And I'm so on board with. Johann Hari talks about this as well. Amy said, I really wish I could just gather up all of the people who are hurting, all of the people who are struggling, and just bring them into the middle of a circle so that they can feel loved, they can feel nurtured, and they can feel seen and heard. I too would love that. I really would love that. So if you're a part of a community, if you're a part of a group, there's another beautiful man, Peter, I know, he does men's mentoring, and he's setting up a new group in the area that I live in, and he's finding the space so that men can come once a month or once a fortnight. I'm not sure of the regularity of it, but it's for men to have a safe space to come and talk. And I love that this is happening in our communities. This is just incredible. So if you know of these groups, if you know of these communities, share the word. Let people know. Let men know that this is available to them and that they weren't ever supposed to do this alone. Life is not to be done alone. Share the burden, share the load, share the pain. Because when we share the burden, the load, the pain, it's halved. And also remember, when somebody is feeling at the end of their tether, when they're feeling like there's no other choice, it's not their life that they want to end. It's the pain that they want to end. And so how can we hold space for the pain to pass through? You would have heard me say many, many times, this too shall pass. And I truly believe it does. Things are transient. Things come and things go. And the period of time where they stay changes, varies. But everything passes, and this too shall pass. This is temporary. What communities can you find to immerse yourself in, to allow your heart to heal, to allow your heart to be seen, to allow your heart to be heard? Allow yourself that gift, because you were never meant to do this alone. I love you. I see you. I hear you. Show up. Show up for you. Show up for us, because we need you. We need you in this world, and we are so blessed by your presence. Thanks for listening to these very important topics. It's really important that we do talk about these things. But if something has stirred within you or someone you love listening to this, please know there's help and you don't have to face it alone. If you're in Australia, you can call Lifeline on 13 11 14 or Beyond Blue. If you're outside of Australia, please reach out to a local mental health service or crisis line. Your life matters. You are seen, you are heard, and you are loved. Thank you so much for listening, and please share this episode with someone who really needs it. And remember, we were never meant to do this life alone. Thanks for tuning in to Wild, Wacky, Wonderful Humans. If you had fun, share it with someone just as wild and wonderful as you. Stay wild, stay wonderful, stay wacky, and I'll catch you next time.